and sing along. If you don't know it, it's a good story. You should know it. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't leave much for my mama and me. Just his old guitar and an empty bottle of whiskey. Now I don't blame him because he ran and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and dated Ian. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Ian. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean, and my fists got hard and my wits got keen. I had to roll from town to town and hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars that I was gonna search them honky tonks and them bars, and I'd kill that man who gave me this awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a shot of honey. At an old saloon on the street of mud, there sitting at the table just dealing stud. Said that dirty mangy dog named me Ian. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad, and I knew that cross on the picture had. Knew the scar on his cheek and his evil eye. Well, he was big and bent, gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood run cold. And I said, "My name's Ian. Where you been? You gonna die, son." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. I said, "Who are you, Mike Tyson?" But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and then we crawled through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood in his beard. Well, I tell you now, I fought tougher men. I can't really remember when. He was like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and then he went for his gun, but I pulled mine first, stood there looking at me, and he saw me, and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is tough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough." I knew you wanted to be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew, son, you better get tough or die. And it's that name that's helped to make you so strong. Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me, and you got the right to kill me now, and I want to blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me just before I die for that gravel in your gut and spit in your eye, cause I'm that son of a bitch that names you Ian. I got all choked up. I did. And I threw down my gun, and then I called him my pa, and he called me a son, and I came away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I do, and every time I grin. And if I ever have a son, I tell you one thing. I ain't never will Ian. You don't find your name on anything. Those little key tags that you get at the souvenir stores, they never have one that says Ian. It's terrible.
What about this now?
It's a bad thing.